Hey, how's everybody doing out there in our English-speaking world? Down here from Latin America. We just had to wait for the potato truck to go by, announcing the papas, papas, get your papas. Anyway, let's talk today about swindlers and silver-tongued devils in the crypto world. Because I think we're going a direction that's going to increase. I was hoping we're going to get better. And as that increases, it could cause, I should say, because I don't know everything. I don't have a crystal ball, but it could cause more instability. But isn't that what the governments want and the central banks want? More instability. So you have to ask the question then, will it ever go away? I don't think so. There's going to be a little swindlers out there, and those silver-tongued devils are going to try to get your money to make you feel a lack of confidence in the crypto and blockchain world, because this is the future. So stay tuned. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's give a couple examples and what we need to look at, or what principles we need to support, and what line we should walk to not fall in this trap. Don't miss out. So to begin with, I think we got to go back to the beginning. We've done this in other videos, but I think we need to repeat this many times. I think part of the problem, I feel, is we have a lot of YouTubers out there, and some really great ones. I mean, I get educated every day in YouTubers and reading different websites and so forth, and that's where I get in certain news channels that I know will give me the truth. That's where I get my education on a daily basis. And some days I consume many more hours of it than others. And sometimes I'm just flat out tired and don't want to do it, but I need to do it so that you and I and my team here can stay informed. That's my job. So let's go back to the beginning. Satoshi. We know that he or they, we don't know who they are, or he is or was, created this Bitcoin blockchain. Now, the idea of blockchain and so forth isn't exactly new, or wasn't created by this man or this organization. But the idea of putting this Bitcoin, this encrypted coin, for a privacy investment through the internet, if you will, was new. That was revolutionary. And the idea that it would actually, the initial conception was that it would actually replace the currencies of the world, which we know that Bitcoin can't do that because of its point that it has a limitation, and of its purpose in mining. Now, it bases itself off of mining. I love it. You say, wait. But how can you like that when it's wasting so much electricity? Well, let's be real. Most miners, most major mining farms today, and even the ones on YouTube that I watch, and I know that our group's doing the same thing, are putting up solar panels. We're recycling our energy. So we're not consuming, and especially like in the United States and other countries that are more advanced, aren't using coal like China does. But China's a whole different story. I mean, really, do they really care what the rest of the world does? Well, that's up for you to decide. What I want to help you to understand now, though, is this. When blockchain was created, it was created to be decentralized. So nobody had control, and we can have we can maintain our privacy without worrying about somebody abusing it, be it governments or be it hackers or say. The problem we have now, though, is because we're using the mining and the environmental issues of mining, we're pulling away from the actual idea that Satoshi had of maintaining decentralization. Because the more we pull away from it, the more we go to these staking pools. Is that safer, or is that more dangerous? Well, let me tell you something. Our first time in our group staking, we were staking in a fairly new coin, but it was established, but it was a fairly new coin, and we were excited about this coin. And the coin, they made it different, or difficult, I should say, to get into, so that bots wouldn't get in, and for hacking purposes and so forth, right? So I understand that, but I think they could also do things a little bit differently, because here's what happened. Now we're going staking instead of mining. Now when somebody's mining, you buy your GPUs, or you buy an ASIC miner, and you hook it up, you connect the software, and that's your baby. It's wherever you want it to be, wherever and you can have it under lock and key, right? And the money goes into your wallet, whether it's a nice hash, whether it's a HiveOS, whatever it's on, it goes in and it pays you back out to your hot wallet every so often. Every day, every 2 days, every 3, 4 days, depends on how much hash you're producing, right? Via ASIC or via GPUs. And you can control what you want to mine. Fantastic. A lot of flexibility there. But this big hoopla on doing away with this mining, and NVIDIA coming out with, we're going to restrict these GPUs, that was a bunch of BS. Because it didn't lower the cost for you gamers, did it? No. I was just checking the other day online what GPUs are going for. Man, the 3070 is still $1,700. That's ridiculous. $1,400. I saw the cheapest one was $13 something, $1,400. That's absolutely ridiculous. Shouldn't be that. And they're trying to blame the miners before. But you actually do have reduction coming in mining. A lot of people are pulling away from mining. I know that because here in Latin America, you couldn't find a GPU anywhere. I can go out and I can at least come home today with 1 or 2 or 3 3070s, 3080s. So, if that's the case, then what's happening? Well, what's happening is we're moving towards staking. We're getting away because people are starting to feel guilty for mining. When that was really the only safest way for us to be able to create crypto and really invest in it. In the sense that we didn't have to have any risk involved other than buying the actual GPUs and the motherboard and so forth to put the rigs together, or the ASIC miners. Now, let's not talk about those. The idea is, the principle was to defend privacy, and we had control of that privacy. Now what's happening is we're giving up our privacy in staking pools, for one. 2, and I shouldn't say necessarily giving up our privacy, because we can stake through a wallet where we're still decentralized many times. But now there are a lot of times the staking pools are obligating us to go into wallets where we're not necessarily decentralized and use certain wallets, right? It's KYC. So, and when we stake it, some of it I can bring back on my cold wallet. The only way I can really make sure that my money is with me, or my crypto is with me, for example, or you, is if it's on your cold wallet. It's like a flash drive. If it's on that cold wallet, then you know it's yours. But most staking doesn't allow you to put it back in your cold wallet. You got to leave it with them. That's the risk you take. That's why a lot of them pay so high. There's some that pay up to 80% a year or over for staking if you stake so much money. And now we're starting to see the mining is coming through staking. Well, that's not traditional mining. Where's the hash in that? That's not traditional mining. They just call it mining because what it is basically like investing in a stock, and it's allowing the governments now, before the governments couldn't touch it because the mining was very different and it wasn't considered a stock as like in the stock market. Now, as you put your money in staking, it's no different than buying shares and investing in a company. And the governments know that. So they're passing laws. The United States passed a law last month, for example, and they're passing laws all over the world. And now they can come in and control and centralize. And when we stake our money, we stake it in a centralized pool. Now, maybe the smart contract is set up to where it protects us. But what if these big whales come in and they decide that they want to buy that out, dominate that, change the smart contract, and then voila, where's your money? Because you had to leave it there. A lot of staking pools is obligated to leave it there. Some you can go in and come out on a day basis. Depends on what they are. So is that really safer? We're getting away from the principle that Satoshi had. So that's my point I'm going to get to right now. Anything that gets away from what Satoshi said, maintained in the idea of Bitcoin, was the fact of decentralization. Anything that moves us more towards a central control of any type. I don't care if you share it with other people, but the less people it's shared with, or I should say the control that maybe one group has over many people, such as in Helium right now, with this whole iHub Global idea. The iHub Global idea, let's talk about that for a minute. Let's use an example. They want to put 30 million. I heard just recently that their idea, now I don't know, I heard this from somebody else that's apparently a representative of theirs or represents them down this line, so I got to be honest there. But their vision is to definitely install mining, helium miners, in the whole world. And it goes through their software and it comes to them and you get a percentage, whether it's 15%, 20%, 25, up to 35%, and off of many more people. It's like a pyramid marketing. They call it affiliate marketing or something of that nature. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. We saw this, it became our competition. We were putting in IoT instruments together to develop a helium network in Ecuador. And we wanted to do something very stable, very strategic, at a nice, steady, slow basis, and build up a solid network that we can all rely on. What's happening right now? We're putting these devices in the hands of people that have no flipping idea what it is. All they know is they're being promised they can make thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars while they sleep. That's okay. They can do that. But it's not that much money. They got to make an effort. They got to do things. You just don't plug it in and hook up to the internet and it makes that kind of money. Go online. Look at helium. You can see. Go on. Look at the hotspots. You can see what people are making. I was checking out the other day. There's some people who have been hooked up for like 2 months. Haven't made a thing. Because you got to know how to structure it. There's more to it than that. So what's going to happen? They get 30 million people is what we're hearing the numbers that they want. Now, I'm not going to say that and put that on iHub because I didn't hear that directly from iHub, but I heard that from somebody who claims to be representing iHub. Okay? I think the iHub idea could work if it maintained decentralized. What worries me is the idea that it centralizes and comes back to them. So this is why we're going to get involved because it's my competition and it's squashing our whole idea. So I really got no choice. I'm deep into this already. So I got to go along with this, play along with it in a safe way. And all my clients I'm coming in, we're going to secure their homes. Make sure the information is private. Because who is behind iHub? Where's those money coming from? It's out of Vegas. That should be a first thing of what's going on here. Where's that money coming from? So is there somebody else behind it? I don't know, rather than in wealthy investors, but we do know there are whales behind it. Whales in the sense they got a lot of money and they're really going in to gather up the majority of the helium network and actually control helium network and control the people. Here's an idea. Can it work? I think so. I think so. If it's done methodically, but it's not being done methodically. Somebody affiliates and they affiliate 2,500 people and they're their own boss now. And these people, most of them never had any clue before what helium was or even what a white paper is. They don't know what it means. They just know they can get money. And the moment it doesn't produce money, because we know helium produces only 2,500 coins a month for the current 180,000 hotspots hooked up right now. So there's money. But they want to put 30 million out there, and in 2 years it's going to halve again. In 2 years it halves again. Okay, so it goes up, and there's a little bit of a compensation structure there for the undo the burnings idea. But is there really enough out there? When you do the math, you put 30 million people, even paying at today. No, paying at, let's say it's at $400 a coin. It comes out to like 81 cents a month. These people, even in Ecuador and other countries like America, they're going to pay $3 a month probably for having their miner hooked up. That's on that 5% range, obviously, right? So will they actually continue? Most likely no. So what's going to happen to helium then? Helium could tank. It could tank. I hope not. I think it's a good idea, a good project. And it's open source, so I guess people can go in and abuse it. So we've got to be careful in this. So I'm not saying don't get involved with iHub. We're involved with them. And the people who are involved with us, we're going to do everything we can do to make sure that they actually do put us money, but through the original promises and structure that helium had idea. Through iHub too. I've almost said it. We're going to do it through iHub. But we're also going to put our own systems in play so that if something happens, your home is going to be secured as far as information or data stealing, and which is huge these days. We know that big tech, and there's many companies out there that are stealing data and using it against our will, and sometimes against us. And that seems to be a future of the Davos Group as well. So who's behind this? I'd like to know. So we're still digging up. If anybody knows, let us know, please. But we should be suspicious of that. And my point is that it's not decentralized anymore. They're centralizing it. Yeah, a lot of people are going to have it. Well, to a degree. But all people have it, they can say to helium, you know, helium, we want to change this idea in the smart contract. We want to change this. They're the big whale now. And we've seen that what happened with El Salvador on the 7th, and still we're just starting to recover. And even, you know, Elon Musk out there flex his muscle, not putting the guy down. Things I like about him. My son wants to go to work for him. But hey, I don't know about that, but I think Elon's Elon. And Elon looks out for Elon. With all due respect, Elon, but I think you know that to be true. You're a smart guy. You really are. But when you want to put everything under an umbrella or centralize it or control it to make it safer, be careful of that, then we take it out of our hands of the people. Now, here's the last thing I want to talk about. There's this pyramid I say schemes, and I think people can make money in both of these, but you're going to have to go in being wise. And anything that's going to move us away from decentralization is going to put us in an area where there can be more hackers and more people, those silver-tongued devils, that can steal our money from us and cause a disconfidence in the crypto and blockchain world. And we don't want that. Others do. We don't. So I'm suspicious of it going in. But I'm going to go in. I'm going to feel it out. The other thing is, these people that promise you give me $1 million, $1,000, and I'll give you back 20% monthly. Guaranteed. Not 20%, I'll give you back $200 monthly. Not 20%. They don't promise a percentage return. They're promising an actual dollar return. Now, we know in the crypto world, that's impossible to do. That's impossible to do, or virtually impossible to do. What we have here in brief, in some of these, and most of these, they're bots, and they buy and trade. They're selling short, they're day trading basically every day, right? And so they need a big pool of money. Well, down here, I know people that got involved, they got their money back in 6 months. Wow. So they rolled back over again. Wow, that's good. And got up to $15,000, $30,000, and boom, it was gone. So be careful. When you give, in closing, is this way. Anything that's centralized becomes more dangerous. Anything that's centralized allows more fraud to take place. Staking. You can make money staking, but it's also very dangerous. We got zapped the very first time. Learned my lesson right then. Do we stake as a group? Yeah, we do. But I look for staking mostly where I can put that staking in my cold wallet. It's with me. And it's not so difficult to get into, to where I can allow hackers to be there to help you. And that's, oh, listen to this. If you go on a site, like a Telegram site or a Discord site, and somebody asks you a question, and you start to respond, in other words, they ask you if you want help, and you respond, more than likely, that's a hacker. Someone trying to get your money from you. And that's exactly what happened to my team. Always, we learned our lesson. You ask the question first, they'll respond and they'll identify themselves. So in the crypto world, whenever you want to go on, you're staking or you need help on anything and investing in an algorithm or in a coin or in a token, you ask the people first, and they'll come back to you identifying who they are, and they'll respond to your question. So be careful. That's just learn that part there. The other is, can you make money in these? You know, I'll give you $1,000. I get $200 back every month or whatever, 20% of your money, but they promise you a dollar return every month. Yeah, you can do it. I've seen people doing it all the time. But I also seen people at the end lose. So you got to be careful because you're giving your keys. And I finish with this. In a cold wallet, you have your keys. There's public keys on the blockchain and there's a private keys. And those involved already know that. Public keys move the transaction so we can track the block and we can see where transaction A goes to transaction Z where it ends up, right? I should say the transaction goes from A to Z. We can see that. We can see the amount that's moved. But what we don't know is who that person is if it's on a blockchain or a platform that's actually defends your privacy. It's actually decentralized. So if that's the case and you're decentralized, you maintain that privacy and you maintain that security. On the platform itself, you leave your money there, that's risky. Look at Binance. They got hacked a few times now, right? Amongst others, with big names. Binance is the biggest volume-wise in the world right now. So are there hackers out there? Are there quantum computing out there that China and other countries, including the USA, are trying to build up so they can actually penetrate and hack into these systems? Yeah, doggone right they are. That's why I like certain other algorithms and new blockchains that have come up now to defend us against quantum computing, which we'll go into another time. My purpose now isn't to promote either one of those and what we feel is good, which one we feel is going to be good. There's some out there, though, that defend the quantum computing, where the hackers can get in easier and decipher the codes on the blockchain. So, principle, if they take your money, they're taking your keys. The moment you invest your money with somebody, they're taking your keys in the crypto world. And for that money to disappear, it's not like a bank. Here in the crypto world, you got to be responsible yourself. You don't have some babysitter. We don't want babysitters. We want our own independence. That's what got crypto started. We got blockchain started, and that's what maintains it. Now, you got a lot of people that want to kind of play in the middle there. That's why I'm not a big fan of Ethereum. And I don't think Ethereum is going to go that big bust like everybody says it does. And I hope Cardano doesn't follow that same route. But I'm a little concerned about it. But I think that, I don't know, we'll watch and see what happens in the future. And there's others that want to be that currency, to step in and be that intermediary between the crypto world and the normal financial world. And right now, we probably need that transition because crypto's not widely accepted everywhere we go. So we got to move out of one and come into a fiat in the other. So we need that transition. But I hope that we eliminate that transition one day. And I hope that we, the people, establish decentralization. I don't like seeing big companies or big whales come in and buy things up in a staking pool and have such an influence. I don't like people coming in, giving things away to get a movement going. They could actually harm the idea, like in helium right now. I don't like the idea. I'm going along with it cautiously, only because I kind of have no choice where our money's invested right now. So I got to go with the game and try to figure out how we can maintain decentralization and bring it back to decentralization with the people. That's our objective. So when we go into this, we're going to go into this cautiously. So if you're with us, we're going to take care of you and we're going to watch out for you and everything we do going into this whole idea with iHub Global in Ethereum. And I'm sorry, in Helium. It'd be my wish Helium would come back and say, no, you know what? This is for the world. Really, you can't have more than 100 devices per account or per person, right? And a way to register that so the big conglomerates don't do all this, make all these corporations that come in and buy them all up. It makes it more difficult. I'd like to see them do that. I'd like them to see decentralization maintained. So at the end of this video, the whole idea is anything that's not decentralized has risk to it. Can you get some money out of it? Sure, you got to get in the beginning and you got to know when to get out. So it's a higher risk, and that's my point. Are there those promoting on Facebook and on YouTube and so forth? Mostly they come in through Facebook and they, with us, we have these chats where you can come and talk to us and they promote their ideas in there and they pull you into theirs. Well, with us, we won't promote any of that. We're going to promote what we promote here, and you're going to see us, see me, or other staff here on that promotion. So if it's not us, don't do it, especially for our systems, right? That's what I'm talking about, on our social media platforms. Be careful. There's a lot of get-rich-quick schemes out there that aren't going to get you rich quick. Be careful if you ever have to use your credit card for something. And especially be careful if they ask something in crypto that's not already established. I know I'm buying miners in crypto, but I also got scammed, and I'll talk about this. I bought some miners from a company. It's called, well, we'll go into it later. But it has the Helium name and the Helium logo, and they look legit, very legit, good website. I really looked at it for a long time. And they had a machine there that I really enjoyed. I really liked, I should say. I thought I'd really enjoy it. And it was a new cloud Bitcoin miner. It mined actually 3 or 4 algorithms. And I thought, wow, this is kind of like MXC, right? Be something like that. Their miner. This is good. I bought it. Took the jump. I bought it. Paid $1,400 for it. I haven't heard nothing from them. Months have gone by. I emailed them everything. Nothing. They don't get back to me. And they look like legit. And that's online. So be careful. Buy from established sellers. The mining companies, whether it be ASIC company, even your GPU companies, they have established retailers. Now you can buy them, I know, on like an open market type of interchange marketplace, and you can buy GPUs, but you take a risk there too. And I know that because I know people have done that, and they've gotten bit a few times. Sometimes the majority, the 90% of the time they did good, but they have a way of qualifying the people and questions to ask. So just be careful what you're doing. This world is going forward. They're like on a wild west frontier where everybody's slinging their guns. And, you know, you got to be careful sometimes of stray bullets flying because they're going to try to make it so that you can't sling them anymore. They don't want to ruin the crypto world. We want to maintain it. We want to be able to sling them if we want to, so to speak, right? So I hope this helps a little bit. If it does, please hit the bell, hit the subscribe. Pass this along to somebody else so we can hit the algorithm and get out there to other people and try to get this advice to people. We love crypto. We love blockchain. We're excited about it. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to bringing my kids up in this. I'm already starting them in this. But if we don't get the confidence of the greater majority of the people, this is never going to establish like we want it to do. And that's going to be to the victory of governments and world banks and the Davos group. And I'm sorry. But until the day I die, I'm going to fight for decentralization and put freedom into our own hands. We are responsible enough to take care of ourselves. And we should be responsible enough. And we should teach our children to be as well. I love the opportunity I had in my youth to make choices. And I failed sometimes, miserably. But I learned something from it. And I've spent the last 20 years of my life working to help other people, doing my best. And I failed there too. But I keep pushing and I keep getting some advancement in my life to where I'm more effective amongst other people. And now we're at this. And I have an opportunity to take all my failures and my successes and share them with you and the team I work with. And that's our objective here. So please, I love blockchain, love crypto. Let's get into it. Let's get excited. Let's invest. Let's do things. But let's do it right. Let's do it cautiously. Let's not get all emotional about it. There are opportunities. You got to get into it. But then you got to weigh it out because everything goes on the hype. A lot of times, like new miners come out, the hype comes, especially when you got guys out there going, hey, here it is. You got to buy it quick. It's going to go out. Boom. Everybody goes and buys it without even examining it. And I fall in the same group. I fall in the same guilt because I want to get a piece of it so I can fill it out. And if I don't get in right away, that's all going to be sold out and I can't get into for months like I did with the doggone helium miners. I didn't get it till April. And I'm still waiting for most of my miners to come in. So just be wise. Do your homework. Do your research. This is not financial advice. This is our learning curve. It's what we're sharing with you. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do. We're going to ask you, please, just be smart about it. When you go into things, let's develop this methodically and well. It's going to advance fast enough. But be smart. We know you are, especially if you're listening to us today. I guess a little pound on the back for us, I guess. I'm not trying to boost us up at all. We make our mistakes, and we're going to make our mistakes, but we're going to do our very best not to because we do our homework. Do your homework too, and you'll be fine.